The Canada West schedules have been released for next season, and we talked to the Manitoba Bison. Now we're here at the University of Winnipeg to get the thoughts of some of the coaches going into the season. Diane Scott is to my left. She's the head coach of the women's volleyball team. And Diane, you know, going into next season, I guess you guys are already kind of trying to build on for next year.
Oh, certainly. We're already in the gym doing a lot of physical training over the course of the summer and regrouping, revamping, and trying to continue to move forward.
And you talked about getting in the gym already, conditioning. 22 games this season for you guys, an increase over last year. Conditioning is going to be important.
Huge important, and especially with some youngsters coming into our program, getting them on page right away is really critical. We come out of the gate right away, as we do every university year, and so it's really important that they're physically ready because there's a lot of mental pressure, the academic pressure, and the travel pressure. It's going to be different this year.
And you mentioned the travel pressure, a new team coming into the Canada West this year out of Mount Royal from Calgary. How does that kind of affect travel for you guys? I know it's in Alberta, so I mean you guys are used to heading out there. Is there any kind of concerns with fatigue because there's also a lack of a bye week this year?
Certainly, this year Mount Royal will come to us, but it does create that we will go to Alberta, the province, twice to play Calgary and the University of Alberta, as well as 2 BC trips on top of going to Regina. So it's one extra travel weekend for league. How those matches align themselves, whether it's a Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday, and what comes the next week, all those things are critical, and we don't have a lot of control over our schedule, so how we manage ourselves going into the season, how we manage ourselves on a day-to-day basis in the gym and outside the court are the critical things, and that comes with some manipulation to the schedule in terms of how we manage it and just personal management.
And you talked about the youth that's going to be on your team for this coming season. Does that help you almost a little bit? I mean, the younger people, I mean, I think of myself when I was a younger athlete, I have more energy than I do nowadays, that's for sure. Do you think that helps you with the schedule being the way it is this year?
To be honest, no. With more youngsters and less experience, they're not going to understand the pressure of the schedule with school, etc. And the first 6 to 8 weeks are going to be very challenging for them to make a transition. So that's why it's important that we take care of some of those things now in the off season. It is important that the veterans that are returning have an opportunity to connect with the youngsters and bring them up to speed as much as possible. No first-year athlete knows what it's like to play university volleyball until they're playing university volleyball.
It's very true. So that's the women's volleyball side of things. We got a couple more coaches that we're talking to right away.
I'm probably over the moon about everything. The excitement for the travel, the fixtures. I mean, we've been into it now for the last 6 weeks, just getting the details right. We've got a pre-season type of tryout. We've got all the kids from last year, apart from 2 that have graduated. A whole young team. Some of the kids coming in, 1 from the States, 2 from Ontario, 1 from Quebec, 1 from BC. So we've started to recruit across the country, which is really good. It's exciting for the kids that are here already. And some of them are already in town and we're still in June. But we fixed them up with ladies teams and so on. So that's exciting. And the fact that we've probably been able to go into it in detail this year. The whole training program, what's going to be done every day, the focus every day. It won't be every player training every day, but it will be groups coming in, position specific, little functions, phases of play, stuff like that. So everybody's just really excited. They keep coming in and chatting and when can we start? And I'm trying desperately get some downtime, because otherwise it'll be November and injuries and everything else.
You know, it's different from the last couple of years, but you know, the bottom line, you have league games, you got to do well in league, and your goal is to make playoffs. So our goal won't change. Our goal is to make playoffs, just like we did this past season. So obviously, the better you do in league, the higher you finish, you know, in the rankings for playoffs. So our goal is to make playoffs and go from there. We have 7 returning players and we have 5 rookies coming in. We'll definitely be very young next year overall. but very talented and very motivated. They've been training very hard through the off season, and we're very excited for September to come. We're 11 weeks away. The kids have gone through their fitness testing, just a week ago, so we kind of know where they're at now. We know where they need to be in 11 weeks, and it's a very motivated group. It's a group of kids with a high basketball IQ. I don't know what the next year will be like because of the young group, but we have a group that'll be together for the next 2 years with no graduating players. So very, very exciting.